Editorial: Why Canada is Canadian. In August 1812, Thomas Jefferson sat in retirement in Monticello and chortled about the war the United States had just declared against Great Britain. Jefferson, who had already nearly doubled the nation's borders with the Louisiana Purchase, saw an opportunity to expand the country yet again through this new war. The acquisition of Canada, he gleefully wrote a supporter in Pennsylvania, will be a mere matter of marching. We think of Jefferson today for his refined intellect, but he was remarkably casual about the violence that another war with the British might bring. Perhaps they may burn New York or Boston, he wrote. If they do, we must burn the city of London by hiring arsonists, what some might call terrorists. For Jefferson, the burning of American cities was a small, and acceptable, price to pay for the grand prize, the final expulsion of England from the American continent. Things didn't exactly work out that way, of course. The acquisition of Canada was not a mere matter of marching. Each time President James Madison sent the American army marching across the border, the result was an unmitigated military disaster. The British army turned out to be pretty formidable, and the Canadians weren't exactly welcoming the Americans as liberators. The Americans did manage to burn the city of York, present-day Toronto. For some reason, the Canadians did not take this as an act of friendship. Today, the War of 1812 is a footnote in American history books, mentioned mostly because we got a national anthem out of it, and a problematic hero in the form of Andrew Jackson. In Canada, though, the War of 1812 is heralded as the singular event that guaranteed that country's independence. In downtown Toronto today, there's a sculpture which depicts a Canadian soldier triumphing over a fallen American, with an inscription noting that without such a valiant defense Canada would have been absorbed into the United States. We bring up all this history for one reason. Today Canada celebrates its 150th anniversary as an independent country. That prompts this historical question: why isn't Canada part of the United States, as Jefferson grandly envisioned? Going back even further, why didn't the Canadians join us in the Revolutionary War? If they had, there never would have been that failed attempt to conquer, liberate Canada in the War of 1812. Put another way, why are Canadians Canadian and not simply Americans with an unusual taste for partying? The answer to that is actually pretty simple, if obscure. Canada in 1776 was not the Canada we know today. In 1776, Canada mostly consisted of French-speaking Quebec and Nova Scotia, with only scattered settlements elsewhere in the future maritime provinces. Quebecers were traumatized when France lost their province to Great Britain in the 7 Years' War in 1763. The British wisely decided the best thing to do with so many French speakers was to leave them alone and guarantee freedom for the Catholic Church. Consequently, Quebec wasn't in any mood to disturb the delicate arrangement by siding with a bunch of hot-headed American revolutionaries who probably weren't going to win anyway. Nova Scotia, by contrast, was considered Britain's 14th colony. However, at the time of the American Revolution, Halifax was a major port for the British Navy, and the leaders there were keenly attuned to British mercantile interests. There would be no revolution there. After the war, American royalists fled, largely to Nova Scotia and the western parts of Quebec, which became today's Ontario. You might even say that Canadians were the original anti-Americans. Thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for daily videos.